This time, I'm exploring a personal favourite of mine. If I were doing a top of the pops of English rivers, to be honest, the River Wharfe would be in my top 3. I love it. If you're a fan of all creatures great and small like me, you'll instantly recognise this glorious landscape. The Yorkshire Dales is Herwood country, and the glorious Wharfe runs right through the heart of it. My journey along the River Wharfe will flow through the very best of Yorkshire. Chocolate box villages, past rolling hills and dry stone walls. I'll be cozying up under canvas by the riverside, looking out of that door straight to the river flowing by. Just gorgeous. Experiencing the extraordinary Bolton Abbey estate. Now this is spectacular. I'll discover one of the most dangerous stretches of river in the country.
It's quite scary and magical.
Before being serenaded in wonderful Wetherby. Fantastic. I can't wait. But I'm starting my River Wharfe adventure here in the picture postcard village of Hubberholme. High up in the Dales and quintessentially Yorkshire. It's just 4 miles from the source and is one of the first villages the river runs through. I've become really curious about the name Hubberholme because it sounds like, you know, bubbling, doesn't it? And you think, oh, well, that's why, hubba, 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 bubble, bubble. It's actually to do with Hubba the Berserker, who was a Viking chief, not quite so peaceful. The village has come a long way since its Viking days. Hubberholme today is tranquil. And this is the perfect, idyllic Yorkshire village. There's an energy that the river creates, I think feeds the brain, and you can understand why great writers would want to be in this environment and then put pen to paper. In fact, the playwright J.B. Priestley, who wrote the famous film and play An Inspector Calls, was a regular in the pub. He called Hubberholme one of the smallest and pleasantest places in the world, and his ashes are scattered in the churchyard. But it's time to move on and head downstream, where the river flows through the pretty village of Kettlewell, a place with a strange claim to fame. This time of year, they have a very unusual tourist attraction because you find these characters made of straw, attached to drain pipes, leaning on houses, sitting on park benches. They're everywhere. I've come to meet villager Claire Blakey-Williams. Oh, what a spot! Isn't this lovely with the river running here?
It really is, yeah.
And I'm hoping she can answer the question, why all the scarecrows?
So the Scarecrow Festival started about 1994 and basically was to raise funds for the village school. And then it's just grown and now we have thousands coming.
In fact, 15,000 flock to the village every summer on the hunt for these curious displays.
I think it's to me to you, to me to you.
Oh, Chuckle Brothers.
Chuckle Brothers,
yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Is it just me or are these all off the TV? That's just great.
And there's 3 characters on the bench that you'll recognise, I'm sure. You got them? Last of the
summer wine. OK, yes. Should have got that. It is quite a spectacle. Wow. But I'm slightly relieved I didn't see myself on the trail. But if scarecrows aren't your thing, keep following the riverbank for a walk on the wild side. This section here is known as the stepping stones. In theory, you can walk across, but with the river flowing as full as it is, I'm not going to take it on because I can't walk on water. Despite popular opinion. Along here, you're likely to spot an abundance of wildlife, treating this river like home. As it flows into my next stop, Kilsey, in the heart of Wharfedale. It's home to the magnificent Kilsey Park estate, the custodians of this 2-mile stretch of river for centuries. Jamie, what a spot.
Fantastic, isn't it? It's been the backdrop to my life, this river. I love it.
Someone who's seen this river and its banks change over the years is owner Jamie.
My family's been here since 1911. I'm very happy that not only do I live and work beside the river, but I help to care for it as well. It's been a great privilege in my life to see otters come back. When I was a boy, we didn't have otters here. We now have otters coming back up the river.
And what about red squirrels?
Mum started breeding red squirrels in captivity here about 30-odd years ago. We're luckily starting to see more red squirrels in the area. My mum used to keep one. There was one she had that she kept in a slipper beside her bed because it was kicked out of the nest.
And did that red squirrel have a name?
He was called Tufty.
Oh.
He was quite a pet, but he ended up living out in the forest again, so that was good.
But the lake on this estate is also a haven for fishing, fed by a spring that flows into the wharf.
We have hundreds of people coming every week here to learn fishing. Anybody can have a go, and we pretty much guarantee you're going to be able to catch a fish.
I think the thing is, he doesn't know me. It does sound easy enough, so here we go.
You're trying to get as much line out as you can.
Right.
You're sort of bringing it slowly back in, and you're watching for that moment that you get a slight tug on the line.
Okay.
And then at that point, you're going to go like that.
So simple, so easy. Watch I don't hit you in the face, OK?
OK.
Whoa!
Careful to fall now.
Well, that would be one way to catch them. Now, I am assured this lake is full of farmed trout. Come on, baby. Any takers? Come on, get on the end there. No? They're right there, Jamie.
No,
they are
they're
right
circling.
there. If at first you don't succeed... Right, this is it. Try again. I understand the peacefulness of it, the mindfulness of it. Oh, balls. But it's quite frustrating. Especially when everyone else is just reeling them in. Oh, my word.
Fish.
Oh, yeah. He's caught one, he's caught one. Basically, everyone else has caught one. Then, just as I'm about to give up... Oh, hello. Oh, my God! Come here! God, he's fighting. Come on. I'm going to catch myself a whopper. It's heavy. Jeepers. Oh. Oh, no. The line broke.
Never mind.
Oh, no. I don't think fishing is my forte. Eating fish, on the other hand, now that is something I excel at. And excitingly, there's a smokery on site here. Whoa. Cured first in brine, this trout is then infused with oak, applewood, herbs and spices in an oven for 4 hours.
You really get that smokiness, don't
Yeah, I like smoked trout. I have to say, I think I like it better than smoked salmon. Hint, hint, Jamie? So now I get to taste the fruits of our labours if we'd done any labour and actually caught a fish. But this has been smoked.
you? Taste the smokiness.
And the
Apple and
apple.
oak wood.
I can taste apple.
Perfect.
That is really good. And while I might be rubbish at trying to catch them, I can certainly eat them.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready for a lie-down after that, which is exactly what I'll be getting next on the riverbank. Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah. Before I get friendly with the Yorkshire favourite, ferrets.
They've got very distinctive smell. Can you smell it?
Oh, I can smell. I've left Kilsey. And I'm heading downriver as the wharf winds its way through the gorgeous Yorkshire countryside. The wharf is one of my favourite stretches of water. It's what's known as a spate river, which means it's fed by water that runs off the moors. Because of its fast flow, waterfalls are a frequent feature, some of them spectacular. This is Linton Falls, and as well as being magnificent and majestic to look at, it generates a lot of power. Used to go through an old textile mill, that now long gone, but still it is used for a local hydroelectric plant, so it literally lights up this area. One of the villages likely benefiting from the power of the water here is Grassington, sitting just above Linton Falls. It might look familiar. That's because we're in the territory of the hugely popular series All Creatures Great and Small. Grassington is in fact the setting for the fictional village of Darrowby. For each series filmed, the local businesses find their shop fronts transported back to the 1930s. From the local pub getting into character as the Drover's Arms, and the bookshop transforming into Endleby's Groceries. Grassington offers a wonderful hit of Yorkshire life. But just a bit further downriver is my next stop, the idyllic village of Burnsall. It was originally a Viking settlement. You can see why they picked it, for the bend in the river, for the protection of the hills above, the south-facing village green, a grassy beach that's enjoyed by kids playing cricket and football, adults sitting and soaking up the sun, dogs and ducks alike. It's got a really relaxed holiday vibe here. So I'm not surprised to discover that the riverbank is home to one bustling riverside campsite. Now, I've got to be completely honest with you, because we're friends now, and I like the outdoors, and I don't mind bad weather, and I can cope with a lot of things. I'm pretty roughy-tufty, but I've always been a terrible snob about camping. I just, always thought I'd like to sleep in a bed. Mason's campsite sits directly on the riverbank, and it's looking pretty busy. Clearly, the hardcore campers love it. So I need to find out what is great about camping, and you look like the sort of people who can tell me.
Just getting away from it all, fresh air, waking up in the outdoors. And we love this river, and we know there's good swimming spots.
If you met someone who didn't like camping, what would you say to them to persuade them to give it a go?
Go when the sun's shining. Don't go when it's raining.
Right. These are all good points, well made. I was going to come and say hello, is that all right? Hello, Rolo. So what do you think is the best thing about staying here?
Getting to sleep outside in the fresh air without sitting indoors with central heating.
And who do you think enjoys the holiday most of all?
The dog.
The dog does, exactly. These campers are persuasive, but it'll take more to part me from my home comforts. What a spot for a campsite.
Yeah, it's always been a really, really popular spot.
Let's leave it to campsite manager Lucy.
It really is a huge draw that we are literally on the side of the river.
The other advantages of camping, run me through them.
It's the beauty of the great outdoors. We believe you should be listening to that beautiful sound of the river, the birds, the sheep, everything that's natural.
My issue with camping has always been the lack of a bed. But I notice you've got some really fancy glamping pods.
Yes. So we've got full king-size bed, log-burning stove, electricity, you've got all your cooking utensils, crockery, cutlery, everything.
And you've got running water.
And you've got running water.
Just there.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Could I have a look at one of the little glamping
Absolutely,
pods?
you can.
Now we're talking. This is much more up my street. Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, this is fantastic. Proper bed.
Proper king-size bed.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah.
And you can have the crackling of the log-burning stove in here.
Oh, it's nice. That's the best bit, right? Lying here, looking out of that door, straight to the river flowing by. It's just gorgeous. I've got a whole new idea now of camping.
And you can also go up the road to to my favourite pub in the whole world, the Craraven Arms.
Oh.
A 2-minute walk up the road.
Oh, fantastic.
So it's perfect.
I'll just have a nap and then I'll head there if that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Quick 40-minute power nap. Got to get on, though, because the pub is calling and by all accounts it's a legendary local. So everywhere I've been, people have said, you must go to the Craraven Arms. I've gone to the Craraven Arms. Is that a place? They said it's a place and it's a pub. Fantastic food and apparently gateway to the ales, which frankly is not my favourite thing. The ale house got its name from local boy William Craven, who at 14 years old left the village with nothing to seek his fortune in London. Years later, he was said to be worth millions in today's money and held the office of the Mayor of London, securing his status as a legend in these parts, just like the current landlord, David. Hey, David.
Hello, Claire.
Good to meet you. And I'm
And
so
you.
excited to hear a bit about this pub because this is a proper historic building.
It certainly is. It goes back to about 1600, but it was built as a farmhouse, not as a pub. All the pubs in the Dales were farmhouses originally, and they gradually became pubs. What would happen is that the wife of the house would start brewing ale in the kitchen and serving it to passers-by just to supplement the main income, which was farming. And they gradually became a pub. This was still a pub and a farm in the 1950s.
Really?
Yes, I can remember it.
And when did you first come here?
I first came in here about 50 years ago, but we've owned it for about 18, 19 years.
Now, of course, they say that Yorkshire is the land of flat caps and ferrets. Well, this charming little boozer has achieved global notoriety for both, having been featured in the Wall Street Journal for its annual ferret race.
Well, we actually invented ferret racing about 50 years ago, and it's developed from that. And the people come from all over for it, and it's just unbelievably popular. We never thought it would be as popular as it is.
It's a cracking place, honestly. One small issue, though. I don't have a drink yet.
That's a local beer, Henton Pale Ale.
OK.
Dark Horse Brewery. And that is apple tree wick cider, which is made at the farm just over the road.
Oh, lovely. And that, you said, is a still cider?
It's a still cider, it's proper cider. What do you think?
I think that's nice.
It is nice.
But I think if I had 2 more sips of that, I'd fall over. Now, I'm not an ale or lager or beer drinker.
Well, you should be.
Righto. I'm trying to think, I've got to say something. I like that better than, and this is a huge compliment, I like that better than any other one I've ever drunk.
Well, there you are, you see.
But, you know. Now, they say you shouldn't mix your drinks, and maybe they're right. Oh, my word. Oh, we've got ferrets.
This is Aria.
Because this is all getting a bit surreal.
She's very tiny.
Hello, Aria.
Friend. And this one's Nobby.
Nobby.
Let's hold him.
Yeah, so hold him like that and that.
Yeah, just don't worry.
Nobby, all right.
What would you enjoy smelling a ferret?
Smelling a ferret.
Yes, they've got very distinctive smell. Can you smell it?
Oh, I can smell?
Yeah.
You will smell a ferret. It's not unpleasant.
Oh, I beg to differ. Nice meeting you, Nobby.
But these end up as petting ferrets.
Right.
And I'm not being funny. They are just so soft.
I'm told that the fancy for ferrets came from Yorkshire coal miners who used to compete over who could keep a ferret down their trousers the longest. That's a step too far for me.
And your auntie,
Sweet, they are lovely.
Look at this, the way it's nestling.
Yeah.
You're a little darling.
Well, that's something I wasn't expecting, I have to say. Trying ale, obviously, don't do that very often. The cider's good, though, and who knew I'd get to handle a ferret? It's just your average night out in Wharfedale. I stink. Time for a shower. Then I'll be moving on to discover a riverside town that's been named as one of the best places to live in the country. Do you mind if I ask you guys what is great about living here?
Oh, what's not to like? It's such a beautiful place.
I'm following the path of one of my favourite rivers, the Wharfe. as it heads southeast from its source high up in the Yorkshire Dales. And I've reached the most wondrous section of this riverbank. The River Wharfe has brought me here to the Bolton Abbey estate. It's 30,000 acres, owned and managed by the Devonshire family. And it's the only wooded area on the River Wharfe. It stretches for 5 miles through this estate, and it has drawn visitors for centuries. And you can see why, you can feel why. The estate was founded on the banks of the Wharfe in the 12th century by a small group of monks. The highlight of the whole estate, the headline maker, if you like, is the historic Bolton Abbey, one of the most impressive ruins anywhere in the country. It's framed by ancient woodland, the river coming sweeping past it. We've Henry VIII to thank for reducing the abbey to a ruin, having launched a campaign to destroy this and all the rest of the Catholic abbeys in England. But its eerie appeal is what draws so many visitors today. Many of whom might be interested in this fact I learned. Remember the nursery rhyme, Hey Diddle Diddle? Well, legend has it that the head of Bolton Abbey, Prior Moon, was diddled over the sale of a cow. And these 2 laughing dogs on the side of the abbey, just up there, are supposed to represent the locals who were tickled by the tale. Other quirky things remain too. The stepping stones behind me would have been the only way that medieval monks living and working at the priory could have crossed the river. Nowadays, there is a footbridge, so only the brave have to venture across the steps. And I'm not feeling that brave today. This is the easier route, taking me deeper into this vast estate. Hugging the banks of the river is the majestic Strid wood. Hello.
Hi, Claire.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Guiding me to its best spots is Mark, who has the wonderful title of River Keeper. What a fantastic spot.
It's magical, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You never lose that sense of awe when you actually find the Strid. It's a pretty special place.
Responsible for maintaining 5 miles of the river flowing through this estate, Mark knows this stretch of the Wharfe better than anyone. That section up there, where almost the river disappears and it's all rocks, what's that?
It's iconic, Claire. That is what we refer to as the Strid, a major feature of the River Wharfe and very unique.
This area may look as if it's straight out of a fairy tale, but the spectacular Strid is a place of peril. Here, the rushing river is forced into a narrow channel between the rugged rocks on each side. Now, this is spectacular. This is one of the most dramatic spots on not just this river, but probably any river anywhere in the world.
Yeah, it's very unique.
The moss on the rocks just makes it all feel alive, like a living being, which it is. And the river's channeling in now to such a narrow, deep sort of vortex.
You can only imagine what the underneath looks like. Caverns, caves. It's quite scary and magical.
Presumably some people do foolishly try and jump to the other side.
They do. Thankfully, most of the time they get away with it. But unfortunately, it has got a record of being one of the most dangerous rivers in the UK, purely for this feature alone. And it's quite easily in wet conditions for people to get close to the edge and slip and won't take any prisoners.
In fact, the Strid has claimed the lives of a number of people over the centuries. For those who remain respectful of the potential danger, this is a place of wonder.
Over thousands years, it's been a draw to people. It's got that sort of cathedral feeling to it, the noise and the enclosure of it. There's something relaxing about the place.
And also just that constant You know, that constant music of the river.
It's always there.
Yeah.
It's always there.
God, it's lovely. It's really fabulous. The Strid is just enchanting, and it's certainly the highlight for me on this extraordinary stretch of river. If you had to characterise the River Wharfe, what would you say its personality is?
That's a good question. Yeah. At times it's a very kind river, a beautiful river. Most of the time she's a gentle beast, but she can get very angry.
Which is why you've got to treat her right.
Yes.
It's a bit like me, especially when I'm hungry. Thankfully, this part of the river has one more treat in store for me. Beautiful spot like this draws the visitors, which means you get a cafe. And a cafe means a really good cup of Yorkshire tea. And a Yorkshire delicacy, because this is curd tart. It's a sweet cheesecake with currants wrapped in short crust pastry. It's got a really nice little kick. You can just leave me here, I'm really happy. Oh, yeah. I want to stay, but I can't. It's time to get going to my next destination. A few miles downstream from Bolton Abbey, and the river is wider, it's shallower, it's forming its character, and it is central to this place, Ilkley, recently voted the best town to live in the whole of the UK. Described by one major newspaper as a town that dazzles, not least for its scenery, Ilkley ticks all the boxes. And then some, if you consider its other claim to fame. It was originally the home of one of the most famous and popular gardeners in the country. Someone I admire and like hugely. Hello. Hello. Oh, that's very kind.
This is the Alan Titchmarsh Rose.
Great son of Ilkley.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It smells nice, and so does Alan. He is genuinely one of the nicest men in television.
He's a good supporter of us here in the park. Yeah.
So you're all volunteers?
We're all volunteers, yeah. Everybody volunteers, and we're here a couple of times a week.
So Alan Titchmarsh grew up here, and what was his first job?
His first job was as an apprentice in the Parks Department. So that's where he developed his interest in gardening and working outside.
So he'd have worked in here?
He worked in this very park, yeah. This would be one of his main parks that he'd work in, yeah.
How important do you think having really well-kept open space next to the river is to the people who live here?
It's vital. I mean, it's such a key part of the town, and it's such a focal part for people to come down to. And the river is a bit of a magnet.
For some, the magnetic pull of this mesmerising river has been felt from as far away as the other side of the world.
Hi, Claire.
Hey, Jono. Local author Jono Ellison now lives in Malaysia, but to keep his connection to the river, he was inspired to write a book about it called Walking the Wharfe.
I grew up here in Boston Spa, which is a bit downstream from here, and I've always had this kind of obsession, I would say, with the river, so I thought I'd walk the whole length of it.
How far is it then if you walk the whole thing?
So it's 65 miles. I did that over 5 days with a tent on my back.
And do you think you're even more passionate about it because you've been and lived elsewhere and come back again?
Yeah, definitely. Someone told me it's almost like a metaphor for my homesickness, and the reason I wrote this book about the river here. I just love that it has almost like a personality that's like a person's life almost. Up in the Dales, it's really small and energetic, and you've got all these other little streams that join it and sort of add to it as a person or as a river. And then as you get further downstream, it gets bigger and it gets more serene and kind of set in its ways.
Now, I know that Ilkley has got a reputation as being one of the best places to live in the UK. So sell me Ilkley. What's so special about it?
Well, Ilkley's got the beautiful Ilkley Moor in the background, but then you've also got the river that runs right through the middle. And there's these lovely parks next to it. It's sort of halfway up the river, so it's not too wild, but it's not too kind of calm and serene.
It sounds like the river plays its part, and there are plenty of people out enjoying it today. It's so busy, isn't it? I mean, kids everywhere in the playground, the cafe back there, live band playing. It's all
Yeah, it's lovely.
packed,
And then the moor overlooking it all. Moor.
yeah. Do you mind if I ask you guys what is great about living here?
Oh, what's not to like? It's such a beautiful place. We're so lucky. The Wharfe is just amazing, right the way from the Dales, right the way down, further downstream. So
the Dales are lovely to walk on, you know, and visit. Very nice.
I think you've sold it. You've sold it well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, nice to see you. Bye.
It's unanimous today. But Ilkley's popularity actually stretches back centuries, thanks to the river.
There are quite a few spa towns around here. Boston Spa, where I grew up, Harrogate and Ilkley. So people have been coming here to take the water, the healing water, for many years. But the Victorians really made it popular, especially with the coming of the railway. They all decided to come and take the healing waters. And there's a great quote that they used to have in Ilkley that a walk on Ilkley Moor is worth a bottle of the best champagne. So it was very much like a health cure thing.
And people still come back. I mean, not necessarily for the spa, but for this water, for the river.
That's right. There's a first designated swimming spot just a bit downstream from here. And yeah, it's very nice on days like this.
I have to say, it looks very inviting. It is beautiful. This river is full of surprises. As I bid a fond farewell to one riverside garden, I'm heading to another, which might just be the most spectacular in the country. I'm coming towards the end of my Yorkshire adventure, as the River Wharfe has brought me east to a jewel in the beautiful landscape. This magnificent stately home is Herwood House. Home to the Lassells family for over 250 years, built in the 18th century as a statement of power and wealth. But before I go and have a nose around inside, I want to go and explore the gardens, because not only are they beautiful, they also were masterminded by the great landscape gardener of Georgian times, Lancelot Brown, known as Capability Brown. And it is said that the River Wharfe inspired much of his thoughts here. Known for his quintessentially English signature style, Capability Brown contributed to the design of some of the country's most striking gardens, from Blenheim Palace to Hampton Court. It took him over 6 years to complete his ambitious vision here at Herwood, and these spectacular results became the envy of many large estates of the time. Head gardener Trevor has the job of maintaining them today. So, Trevor, how much do you admire the work of Capability Brown and his vision?
Immensely. I mean, he was a genius, really a landscape genius. In many ways, he really brought out the best of the landscape at Herwood.
The amazing thing here with this lake, which is vast,
Yeah.
is he's made it look like a river. It doesn't look like an ornamental lake.
Well, without doubt, in my mind, he wanted to create this great river, or the feeling that a great river runs through the valley. And, of course, you can see it, and he's using the audible sounds from the cascade to create this idea that the river is here.
And you watch dragonflies just skimming over the water.
Yes.
See the swans in the distance. And
Yeah. It has that ceaseless flow, so there is that essence of timelessness.
Brown really was a genius at work here. So his nickname, did that come from him being able to do so many different jobs all at the same time?
My understanding is that capability came from the fact that he was a genius at teasing out the capabilities of the landscape. He would say that, yes, this landscape has capabilities, and he would explain what those capabilities were, hence the name.
Brilliant. But the lake isn't the only part of the garden with a connection to the river. So, Trevor, this is the Himalayan garden. What's the story behind it?
Well, it was originally part of Brown's design from the 18th century, but in the 1930s it was redeveloped on a theme that was more or less oriental. And it is a very, very calming place to be.
And this water flows into the River Wharfe?
It does, yes. Again, part of Brown's design. And I think that's what gives the Himalayan garden its real charm. To have a river in a garden, it's amazing.
I saw stepping stones earlier today that looked very precarious. These ones at least are dry on top, and you have all of them.
Those are quite a nice, easy gap in between. You can actually walk over those rather than have to stride over them.
Oh, he makes it look so easy, but I'm not so sure. I've lost my nerve! I really don't like it. What is wrong with me? Seriously? Pathetic. Literally frozen.
Do you want me to hold your hand coming across?
You sure?
Yeah, yeah.
OK, all right, go. OK, I've got it. I'm OK now. 1, 2, 3. God, that was pathetic.
That was good.
Ah, relief. I'm a little bit embarrassed. That, for me, was nearly a step too far. So I'm leaving the gardens and heading indoors. Herwood House is thought to be one of the most important historic houses in England. Its curator, Becky, is showing me around. Oh, hello. Oh, wow. Talk about a room with a view.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? Statement of power as you walk into this room. And this is where, obviously, you would have greeted the family as well. So they're presenting themselves as the sort of purveyors of this entire landscape. It's about the Lascelles family showing land is power.
It is impressive, but where did the money come from? In the midst of all this grandeur, we've got 2 dusty old bottles. What's this about?
Yeah, so these are Herwood rum bottles, and they were found in the cellars here at Herwood about a decade ago. It's officially the oldest rum in the world. And we think the rum that was in them was about 200 years old. We think that this rum was almost certainly made on one of the Lascelles family's plantations, and therefore made by enslaved individuals.
Sugar plantations in the Caribbean were a thriving business hundreds of years ago for entrepreneurial families like the Lascelles, allowing them to live a life of luxury, but at a terrible human cost.
Obviously, we need to be honest, and that's really important. The Lascelles family, as well as Herwood House Trust, who now care for the house, it's about actually ensuring that we represent that history and we engage with the legacy of slavery today as well. And, we can change the future, but we can't change the past.
Before I leave Herwood, Becky wants to show me the room that says it all about the Lascelles' desire for power and standing. Oh, wow, OK. I was not expecting that.
By far the grandest room in the house, and again, it's designed to give you that overwhelming sense of grandeur.
And for who? Designed for who?
Basically for royalty. So only members of the royal family would have slept in this bed. The funny thing is, this bed we know was the most expensive piece of furniture that Chippendale ever made, but it was only ever, we think, slept in twice. So Edwin Lascelles, when he built this house, he wasn't an earl, he was plain Mr. Lascelles, yet he had to have a state bedroom to welcome the royal family, perhaps in the hope, that
just in case they were passing.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
The whole idea of building a state bedroom because you think that the royal family might come and stay. I might build one for George Clooney just in case.
just
in case he comes to stay. It'll be just for him.
Yeah.
That's left me something to think about. Rather like this whole journey. But it's not quite over yet. Weatherby Bridge behind me, one of the magnificent arch bridges that cross the River Wharfe. And I've come here because I've been promised one last treat from Otley Brass Band. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Nice to meet you.
And you. So, am I going to get a bit of a treat?
Yeah, so we've got a little arrangement of Ilkley Moor Batat for you today, and I'm really excited to show you it.
And can I ask you something? Do you think it's going to sound even better because we're so close to the River Wharfe?
Absolutely, absolutely.
listening to a brass band on the banks of the River Wharfe, playing the unofficial anthem of Yorkshire. What could be more wonderful than that? Woo! And do it again with feeling. I've been blown away by the wonder of the ever-changing River Wharfe. From its glorious fishing spots, oh my God, come here, to its deeply peaceful presence. I felt the warmth of the people who live by it. Even the furry ones. I stink. I will let you into a secret. I was very keen that we should cover the River Wharfe in this series because of the landscape that it passes through, because of what we've discovered, its character, its personality. Now this is spectacular. And for me, standing on the Strid near Bolton Abbey with those moss-covered rocks on the other side is a vision I will keep, but more than anything, it's the music of this river that I will hear forever.